This is Sunday Night Suns, and one of these days still we'll figure out introduction music. But at least this time it's on the streaming software that we're paying for instead of the free one that I put together. Maybe one day we'll have just things all over the place. I'm not deep in the corner of all this stuff. But hey, whatever. Keith, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Six seed, six seed.
Big
I'm
Keith.
ecstatic.
Yeah. Hey, listen. After all the events of everything that has gone on, the Suns are in number six. So if the season ends today, we'd be out of the play-in. Which, coming into the season, I don't think anybody would have said. Considering the fact that we're damn near halfway through the year, we can pretty much put aside any sort of discussion about this being, a fluke or it's not real or whatever any of those things may be. The truth of the matter is, like, this is it's just going so much better than anyone could have expected. It's going awesome.
The
I love
experts,
every minute of it. Yeah,
me
yeah, the
too.
experts. Yeah.
The experts before the season, ESPN saying we would get 13 or whatever it was.
Well, and they also said that we would have the worst defense in the league, which couldn't be further from the truth. And not only that, but like our calling card is defense. While I will defend them in the fact that that's never been a thing you could ever say about a Suns team. So to expect that would have been shocking. But they thought that there was no chance that we could even play. And, here we are.
What?
At this point, we've clearly changed the game that it
Yeah,
what we do.
and it's weird that they didn't think that because Dylan Brooks was coming to our team and he's known as a defensive player.
Yeah, right.
No, obviously the expectations were lower than this when going to the season for me at least. I don't even know if the team thought they'd be this good. I know they've been out to prove a point, but you
I mean,
know,
I'm sure that, from, you go into this season and you say to yourself, we're going to have a great year. We're going to be better than people expect. We're going to be competitive. We're going to fight hard. And you say all these things, but it's like, I don't know. What level do you believe them? I don't know. It's truly, I mean, it's nutty. Like, it's not anything that anyone would have expected. And again, I think if you had asked them, like with truth serum, they would have said, I think a lot of them would have said, I think we can be a 500 team. I think they believe
yeah,
that.
yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't think that anyone thought, because right now, again, I know you can't do this, but I'm just saying, when you take out that 1-5 start, you take out the first 6 games, they have no clue what they're doing, everything's being figured out. If you take those out, like, this is suddenly, the pace of a 55 win team. And I understand that to actually get there, we've got to go on a 10-game winning streak to earn those things. And again, I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse. I'm just saying that, for one, we are doing this thing.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
And I'm getting a notification that we sound like super far away. And I was worried about
Okay.
audio levels. See, and these microphones. Let me see if I can. I don't have to.
Yeah. Thanks for the shout out.
Thank you for that. All right, let's turn
Yeah.
our gain up. Now we're going to be too loud, probably. But too loud, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Now the levels look much better for this. Like I said, they sounded. We checked them on Audacity. But hey, what do you know? This is why, and this is why you do it in the middle of the night on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you can just fix things as you go.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what we were talking about. I think it probably had something to do with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defying expectations. And, we took over the Rockets, who we haven't, we've lost all our games against them this season. However, we now have a better win percentage than they do. So if you look at the trade right now, we're doing pretty good. We have a better record than we did at this time last year, and they have pretty much the same record.
Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest thing to me is that they like they have beaten us every game, but the last game was a back to back. They only beat us by 3 points.
Mhm.
We certainly acquitted ourselves much better in that game than we had against them in another game. And they're losing a lot of games they shouldn't lose. The one thing about this Suns team, we're no longer like we blow out the teams we should blow out. Like, let's just talk about tonight real quick because we don't need to spend a ton of time on the Wizards game. But that was never even a game,
Right.
right? Like, it was never close. We beat their ass from start to finish. And the fact that it was even like 19 points at the end, it's like it could have been so much more than that if they had stepped on the gas. Gillespie can't make a shot.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games where we even play, we're not even playing supreme basketball. You're playing a garbage team, and we just, absolutely, still hammered them. And, again, like, that's not stuff that we can necessarily say historically. We struggled with even basic things.
Yeah.
And it got really frustrating at times. And so when we look at this and it's like again, yeah, Royce O'Neal had some points and rebounds, Booker gets 8 assists, but again, this isn't, no one had to score 40 to win this game. We just, went out there, play a little scrimmage basketball and work the Wizards.
Oh yeah. Man, Royce has been on a tear the last few games. His 3-point shot is just looking so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just honestly been, a good time. Mm-hmm. And a game like this, again, there are just so many scenarios in the past where the Suns were, like a few years ago, where it was like the game's over at halftime. And so, again, this game itself, this is over at halftime the right way.
Yeah.
And they just, it's not even something worth really, truly discussing. But, the Rockets game, that one, so much more, again, the frustration. But it's not even like we didn't, I mean, we're in it, right? Like, it wasn't a horrendous game.
Mm-hmm.
Booker scores 27. Grayson Allen has 6 assists. You don't necessarily want Grayson Allen leading you assist, But, it basically takes KD hitting a hero shot at the end.
Yeah. And it took, it kind of fell apart a little towards the end for us too. Like, we were up by almost 10 at one point. Like, I don't know, towards the end of the third or maybe even in the fourth. But yeah, I think with the end of the third, we were up about 10 points and they were able to go on a run. And, we were able to climb back on top. But yeah. Even Booker had a chance to tie it up, and go to overtime,
I mean, it's the second night of a back-to-back. So it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to harp on it too hard.
Yeah.
It's like it's one game, but
they were definitely playing harder against us than they did against the Kings.
Well,
they came to play against us.
Well, I think you choose who you pair.
Yeah.
Whether or not we want, most dudes don't bring it every single night in the way that the Dylan Brooks does. So, there are going to be games where they care more,
I like it. It's us on a team like us, though. People are trying against us. That's.
Yeah, you don't want to be the team that you don't want to be the Wizards.
Right.
And we're not even, playing. I mean, I can't. It's...
One last point on the Wizards game is like, last year we did play the competition last year. Like, we would have, like you said. And this year I don't see us doing that.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. It's very much like just so much of fundamental.
Yeah.
The basics, the little things we weren't doing, hustling, playing that level of defense. Like, again, it's so basic and it's so repetitive, but hey, basketball is basic and repetitive. Basketball is kind of repetitive. And I mean, it's just honest to God, it's the truth that I'm just kind of stunned. This has never been what we do, ever. Now it's every single game. And it's different because you will watch teams play through stretches where they're committed to doing one thing. Like, you will watch teams say, this is what we're doing right now. We are going to defend the hell out of the paint. We're going to defend the hell out of the perimeter. You watch teams go through stretches like that. There, everyone, there was this whole stretch of Lakers defense last year that no one would shut up about. And the most important part of that, by the way, was Jordan Goodwin. And nonetheless,
thank you.
Nonetheless, though, the point I'm making is that ultimately you see these things in phases. And we're seeing it every single goddamn game.
Yeah.
And it just, to me, there's so much more to that than, I ever could have. I really do think that I'm just impressed. They set out and said, we're going to have we're going to play defense. We're going to grind. And then they identified Dylan Brooks as the person who could help them do that.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing is that, like, I know that's not the trade we all wanted, but, like, you know, Dylan Brooks is the one they wanted, not Jalen Green.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dylan Brooks is the guy that the Suns went after, who they identified as someone that, and, like, KD is a better basketball player. There's no question about that. But like you said, their record is largely the same. We're 10, 15 games better. It's inarguable that Dylan Brooks' effect on the Suns this year has been larger than Kevin Durant's effect on the Rockets.
Yeah.
It's not comparable. And I'm not hating on KD or saying KD's having a bad season, but Dylan Brooks has literally been at the forefront of a culture shift in the Phoenix Suns defensive identity that they've literally never had in 70 years of existence. So that's a lot more than KD hitting a few jumpers this year. He's not even their number one option.
Right. Yeah, he's changed, like you said, the whole way we play basketball, the whole mentality, like the on-court mentality, you know, just being like what they say, a dog or whatever, you know. And a lot of it is ought too, I believe, you know, just seeing what players are good at and encouraging it rather than trying to stifle it, you know, which we've seen, you know, like telling Booker not to be a leader from previous coaches, things like that. Like, I feel like Ott is someone that empowers players to do what they do. You know, I love to see it.
I agree with that.
I love his ability to call timeouts and change up lineups, you know, depending on who we're playing. Nice to see Fleming getting some time recently.
He uses the whole bench.
Yeah.
Everyone gets their, and that's one thing I love about the way he coaches back to back is that those second nights, like he gets into the bench. Like you said, Rasheer Fleming.
Yeah.
Fleming's going to get minutes. Jamari Bouye is going to get minutes. We might dust off Nigel Hayes-Davis. Yeah. We're breaking Nick Richards out again. Like, we're doing all these things that extend the team season. I'm not driving anyone into the ground. This is the kind of dude I think that guys like to play for.
Yeah.
I know that, like, the term players coach has sort of a negative connotation because we assume someone who's soft, who doesn't care, things like that. But I don't really think that's what it is. And I think I don't think that's what Jordan Ott is. And I agree with you. I like what you said about that he encourages players to be who they are instead of telling them what they must be. I think that that's true. And I think that, like, I think in the case of Oso Ighodaro, I think Oso said, you know, I can do a lot more. And I think Jordan Ott said, okay, show me. And he's done that.
Yeah.
And he's gotten minutes.
Yeah, he's taking like half of Williams' minutes right now, I feel like.
Well, I love the way that we play the center game where it's basically we're playing Oso, we're playing Williams. You know, it's half and half. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think that in today's NBA, when there are so many great centers, and you're dealing with dudes like Jokic, and you know, you're dealing with all these guys who they're just, you know, I mean, center and point guard are like two of the deepest positions. How crazy was it like 10 years ago where like the big man is dead.
Yeah.
Now center is the deepest position in the NBA again, or one of the deepest. And I think that if you don't have one of those dudes who's just like an absolute game wrecker, the thing to do is platoon it a little bit and have two guys who play a different style, play 24 minutes a game, do their thing. That's exactly what we're doing. Like Williams is more of a traditional center, pick and roll big, attack the rim, you know, post up, do a little bit of rim protection, those kind of things. Ighodaro, you know, a lot more of a, again, I said it before, it's becoming more and more true every game. He's a poor man's Draymond Green. He can bring the ball up, he can pass, he can function as a hub on offense. It turns out the dude can score a little bit. Like, this guy's good. Like, he's continuing to get better and better. I mean, like, I honestly expected this leap from Ryan Dunn this year.
Same here.
And it's coming from Oso Ighodaro, which, hey, I'd love to see them both do it, but what the hell? Like, I'll take either one.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah, I love Oso, dude. I love his vision around the rim, you know, and you know, leading up in the paint in general. You know, like, yeah, he attacks the rim. He gets like at least 2 sick dunks a game at this point.
Yeah.
You know, and then he's also able to dish a ball to someone heading towards the rim, you know, usually a couple times a game. He gets some good assists, I feel like.
Incredibly underrated passer.
Yeah.
Yeah. His ability to function the short roll and get guys the ball. It's one of those things that we've seen a couple of times in the highlights where Iguodaro's somewhere at the elbow on either side, and he catches a pass after setting a cut, and then whips the ball to either a guy in the corner or a dude on the wing because he already knew that they were going to be there. He has that sort of next play mentality that Draymond Green has, where he's already looking for the next pass. And I think that, like, again, for him to be doing this at 23. Like, that's when Draymond came out of college. And it took Draymond a couple of years to become Draymond. And I'm not saying that Oso is going to become Draymond, but I'm saying that he is going to be, I think, a starting quality center in this league, or at least a starting quality big. Maybe he's a little small to be a full-time center, but he's someone that you want playing 30 minutes a game between power forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And I'm here for it, to be honest. And he has really good chemistry with Dunn, like you were saying. Like him and Dunn actually on the court are fun to watch together.
Defensively, they're a nightmare to deal with for other teams. Like their offensive chemistry is getting really good too. But one thing the way they protect the rim together. Some of the games I noticed, like Dunn block, it was also blocked it. Like they'll keep getting them confused because they're both like flying around the rim. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's great. If he's missing a pass going to Dunn or like Gillespie or something. He has good chemistry with bench. He plays with a lot.
Yeah, the bench mob.
Yeah,
but I mean,
at
this point, I mean, like normally, I love fairly standardized rotations because I think that it helps guys know when they're going to play. But the thing about Jordan, like, he's so like Swiss Army knife to everything,
Yeah.
Like all the lineups are so different. He gets everyone involved. That I do think that how guys always tell you got to stay ready.
Yeah.
Because you never know when your number might be called. This is really true on this team.
Mm-hmm. It is.
In a lot of teams, dudes never play. Some guy like they will come to you at the beginning of the season and say you are not going to play, and they will let you know you are not going to get minutes here. If you want to potentially have minutes here in the future, you need to have a good attitude about this, blah, blah, blah. They will tell you. Mm-hmm. And I think that Jordan I really told these guys, you're all going to play. We're going to need everyone. It's a long season. And he's getting everyone involved. And I do think that even getting those dudes at the end of the bench a few minutes every few games, even if it's only on back-to-back, even if it's only on whatever, they play hard.
Yeah.
They are out there giving a shit in a way that you just don't see dudes. You don't see any of the bench dudes give a shit like this on defense. You just don't see that.
Yeah, you really don't.
This is 15 deep of people who give a fuck if they get scored on. Yeah, we've never had that before.
No, and it comes from Ott, it comes from Brooks, it comes from Goodwin. It comes from these really, and Booker always is a leader, but he was never the defensive anchor of a team.
No.
So,
but he's always been an underrated defender, but he's so much better this season.
Yeah.
Than he's been. The deflection, the focus, it's been awesome to watch Devin this year, on both ends of the court. I think that he deserves, way more than he's getting in terms of props from, the media, but we know how that goes. It is what it is in Phoenix, it is what it is in the national NBA. They're just not going to pay attention to Booker in the way that we want.
I agree, dude. I started voting for him for All-Star just because I hope that he gets in. He deserves it, He turned the corner about halfway through the season. I feel like something switched in his brain. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna play my game like I used to. He's scoring more and he's still keeping up the assists. I just I love the way Booker's been playing lately. Get some highlights.
Too much weed, my God. I apologize. So I agree with you completely. I think that Booker is having one of his best seasons. He did mention at one point that the cortisol shot he took for a pain thing was fucking with his shoulder, and I think that it helped him to get off that. But yeah, I think we should do some highlights. What do you think?
Yes, I'm with it. I want to see what you think about what we did in the Rockets.
right, let's see if we can't. Let's see what we got going on here. How do we bring these things up?
You might have a treat.
They call me the blood doctor for nothing. All right, we may have a treat. Let's do this thing. Let's see what we got. So, all right, let's dive in here. All right. So we got Brooks topping the key, pick and roll with Williams. I mean, that's just Brooks just being stronger than everybody. I mean, the interesting thing on this one, I love the way that everybody stays where they are, but you just see, and here's the exciting part. Of course, it doesn't work on this first one, as I pressed the wrong button. But you literally got three dudes who have cracked, right? We've got Steven Adams. I can't see who the other two dudes are because they're blurry. But the point is, they've completely cracked on this, and Dylan just goes right through them and scores. And this is the thing about him that we talk about his jump shot. We talk about how he doesn't pass. We talk about his defense. We talk about the mean mugs. We have fun. He is strong. And he will just go right through a motherfucker. And the way that he has attacked the rim this year has enabled him to shoot better because they're giving him a little more space on the perimeter because they do not want him going by.
Yeah.
And the way that he has worked that into so many middies, like, I did not expect this from Dylan Brooks at all this year. Like, it's just been incredible.
Dude, I did not expect him to score so frequently and be that high, that efficient of a player. Honestly,
nobody did. Yeah. Nobody did. It's incredible. And what you love to see here, this play right here. This is the epitome of team defense, and we can see it right away. Goodwin comes around right here. Oh, we're gonna knock the ball out right there. He comes around, and basically, he's gonna get in the way. Get around, boom. We knock the ball out. Now, because you've done this, like everyone else scrambles to get in front of it, right? So it suddenly becomes a mad dash to get the ball. Grayson Allen comes up with it. Oh, but the Rockets come back with it. Now, right here, this is one of those things where everyone's paying fucking attention. Everyone is locked in. Nobody is running down the court. Nobody's trying to get an easy layup. Everyone's focused, and it's just right back to Otto Iguodala, who we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Because everyone's sitting there waiting for the ball on the scramble drill. Nobody's trying to get a bucket. Nobody's focused about, I'm going to get the dunk. Everybody is focused on recovering this loose ball. I just, again, we're talking about basic shit here that you talk about at the middle school level, but legitimately NBA teams are doing it. JJ Redick's having a fucking aneurysm every week because the Lakers won't do this, right? And the Suns are just doing it at a level that, again, it's just, right into a transition bucket. And that's not even a shot you wanted. No. Like, the thing is that you look at this right here, and what kills you, right, is that this shit is easy, right? Goodwin's open, and then right here. I mean, what are we doing here, Jordan?
He was feeling himself.
He was feeling it, but this is the easiest assist in the world right here. You kick that one right over for the layup. But Jordan Goodwin says, fuck that. And then he bags it. So who cares, right? When you hit that shot, doesn't fucking matter. When you make that shot, doesn't fucking matter. If you rim that, then we got to have a discussion because you got literally the easiest fucking assist in the world. Hey, pass it up for the triple. And again, he's been hot lately. Mm-hmm. Like, he's been on fire. So, I mean,
he did have trouble in the next game, but,
The next game was not his day offensively. Defensively, though, some big plays.
Yes. Which is great. It shows, like you were saying, he's, the Swiss Army knife.
Right, yeah, he's not going to hit 8 threes every game like he did against, so it's like you're going to have other games, and that's okay. Listen, I love Jordan Goodwin. And again, thank you, Lakers, for deciding that you did not need him. I don't understand what the hell happened there, but I'm fine. I love this shit. There's so much defense in this game.
Yes.
Oh,
not there.
I mean, that is just grown man business. And again, this is full court stuff because it feels like it's just a pass, but there's so much more to it, right? Because right here, we've got Royce. Royce knows what's going on, right? Like we are aware that Oso Igudaro is trailing. I've got Gillespie right here. We got our streaker down the court. So it's like, look, every single person is lined up for exactly where they need to be. Again, we're deep in the bench at this point, but this is Point Royce stuff. Right? We've never seen him do this in his career. He's doing it now. It's amazing.
I'm gonna teach these kids.
I'm gonna teach these young bloods how to play basketball.
I'm here.
And this is just right here. This is the thing: is that he's flying up court. He wants to go to Iguodala.
Mhm.
That's where he wants to go with the ball. And Iguodala's trailing him. What do? You cross over hesitation, right? He sees Reed Shepard coming, goes behind the back because he's got crafty game like that. And again, he's waiting for Iguodala. So what do? Do you wait till Iguodala's in the post and he's already got a defender on him, and he's sealed, and you try? No, you just little lefty flip it right to him like a fucking Philip Rivers pass,
Yeah.
and you just not that Philip Rivers is left, but this underhanded shit he was throwing during these play. I guess that was more of a Brett Favre play. Fair enough. But again, not lefty. Mike Vick, whatever. There's no lefty quarterback anymore except Tua. We're not talking about it. But this is just. He looks the other way. When
I
he does
love
it
that.
too.
Yeah.
He looks at Steven Adams. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like this is just like right here. He looks right at Steven Adams and says, "Fuck you, buddy," and then whoop. Oh, and Iguodala, like he got up on that one.
Yeah, he did, dude.
He got up. Like
Yeah.
that was the Michael Jordan shit. He got distance on that one. That was high flying. So frustrating that we lost this game.
I know, man. After looking at plays like that, it's like
A little bit of Point Grayson. I mean, that's just like again, that's Iguodala just knowing what to do. Because again, if you look at where he's at right now, and you look at how this play is started, right? Like you could honestly, like I would understand if Iguodala can this box be dragged is the question. They can't. What do you know? We're learning things on the fly, folks. We're learning things on the fly. So Iguodala is right here. You could easily sell to me that you just stay in the corner, right? Because the play is broken down a little bit. Grayson's way up high. You know, he's not a true point guard, so he's not like an elite passer. So, like, you can sell me on the idea that you're going to stand in the corner, you try to catch the lob. But what does Oso see? Oso sees that his man has his back turned, right? Completely to him. He's not paying attention to him in any way, shape, or form. And that allows Oso to just sneak into the dunker spot, and he makes his play so much easier for Grayson Allen because now it's just a little lob for the alley-oop. Whereas before, Grayson's going to have to try to drive the hoop or try to shoot a floater or try to make an impossible pass to one of the corners. Oso just sneaks in for the easy dunk. And that stuff just, again, like, it's so basic, it's so simple, but he's such a good cutter. He's such a smart player. And it's like, this is also, at this point, we might as well call it the Oso Igudaro highlight show. Because every single episode, no, I love it too. Like, but he's exactly what's right with this team because he's so fucking crafty. He's not like the biggest leaper. He's not the fastest dude. He doesn't have the longest arms. He's not the this. He's not the that. He's just so goddamn smart. You don't need to be every single thing because he has enough of all of it, and it just makes the game so much easier for everyone else, and you're just living with easy dunks and alley-oops, and it's just this shit is fun. Like if you're breaking this down after the game, even though you lost this game, you're like, dude, this is fun. This is like when Nashville and Amari played, and everyone had a good time because it was just dunks and 3-pointers, and it was like a good time for him, and the playoffs were a good time. But the point is, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I'm having a great time watching this.
I'm having a great time too. And hey, moving up to the 6th seed doesn't hurt.
No.
It's been a great year. And here, Oso hands off to DHO, and again, look, there's so much there that you watch this and there's so many actions because right now the ball comes off. Is that fucking But I've got my glasses on. I can't even see. Is that Rivers who starts to play with this ball, or is that
Done.
that's done? Okay. See, I'm like blind with my glasses on. All right. And this is the chemistry that you're talking about between them. Because right here, we come out, and Dunn's got the ball. And again, I mean, you look at what's going on, right? Like Dunn's over here on the wing. Nobody's really in position to do anything right now. Right? Like, this is all, everyone's out of the paint. Guys are moving around. Nothing's happening at this point. We've got nothing going. Huh?
We're well guarded.
We're well guarded. Everyone's in position. There's not a whole lot to be conceded, right? So then we move. Everyone's shifting. We get the ball over to Iguodaro. Instantly goes into DHO with Booker, right? The second that he catches that ball, he's handing it to Booker, who's already sprinting around the pit. And this is the thing is that these are the things. You remember watching the Jeff Hornacek years where it was like AAU basketball, where everyone stands around, I dribble, I pass it to you, you dribble, and then someone fires a contested jumper. There's none of that anymore. There's so much action. There's so much flying around. Booker comes right off the pick. He's ready to attack. And in a lot of cases, he's just going to go right to the hole, right? But again, decent defense because they come to double. So he flips it right back to Iguodala, who's ready for the pass. But again, lo and behold, what's happening in the corner? Ryan Dunn, again, does he stand on the wing? No. He cuts. He sees what's happening. This is the thing is that you have to have anticipation for the next play.
Mm-hmm.
And so many kids do not have anticipation for the next play. And these two do. Dunn and Iguodala do. And this is such a good example because he's already moving. Look at, you can see right there, Iguodala does not have the ball yet. And Ryan Dunn is already.
He's not even looking at Dunn. He doesn't even know where he's doing.
And he's already cutting towards the hoop because he knows, boom, it's going to be fucking easy for me to dunk that ball because nobody's fucking there. Katie can't recover to block that. And that's the thing is, again, you could make the argument. You could make an argument, and I wouldn't be mad at you, that again, maybe I should just slide to this corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dunn should just slide to the corner and Iguodala could, potentially get him the open look for three. I would understand that too. But we're going for the easy bucket every time. We're not trying to turn this into a three-point contest. Let me fucking throw it down. And not only that, but what is it? It's fucking two-handed like Mama talked to Ryan Dunn, throwing that shit down. That's how you do this. That's I love watching the team play. Oh, Devin Booker pick and roll. Best thing in the world. Ooh. The best thing about Booker is you don't even need to like break down the highlight or like show what's going on. It's just like, oh, Devin Booker's about to roast this motherfucker, and he does it every time. He's got so much in his bag. He has Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Chris Paul because that's who he learned from. Like he has grown up watching all these dudes. And I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to say he's all them. I'm saying that the moves that they taught, the way that they played, this kid has that in spades. I mean, he's fucking a decade younger than me, and I'm like in love with him. He's unbelievable. I mean, he's one of the all-time greats, and
he'll be remembered that way.
Yeah, and he's 29, and I think that this season really is going to put like a stamp on his career in terms of like he is somebody who fought through so much adversity, went through so much with this city, went through so much with this organization. He has stayed real, and again, we talked about offline the other day, like the smile is back.
Yes.
And I think that this is just going to be a year that a lot of people remember, like again, things really started to cook again. Because again, we talked about like the 2011 Mavericks, but they were not necessarily predicted to win the title, and they pulled that out because they had Dirk. They were a rebuilding team, and the Suns could really be on that sort of trajectory. Like we're just better than anyone would have expected, right? And I know that it's like, oh, you're in the 6th seed, you shouldn't be talking about championships or whatever. But it's like, dude, you were talking about us in the 15th place in the West. So the fact that we're 9 spots ahead of where you thought we were, I'm not going to stop myself from talking about climbing 5 more spots.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
Me either. I want to dream big. That's part of the fun of watching the season. You never know once you get to the playoffs. Like they say, anything can happen. And like you're saying, like people underestimate us, and that can be detrimental to a team. if you underestimate us, we could take you in a series just by outplaying you. Like we might not have the talent, quote unquote, that you have, but if we play basketball better than you do, we might win that series.
We just literally have. I mean, there's more ass kicking on this team than anyone else. And I don't. But I think there's more because, we were talking before. I was saying I think we could pull off an upset against the Lakers. I think we're going to be ahead of the Lakers before season's end.
Yeah, they'll be the underdog.
Yeah, they're going to be the underdog. I think that we're going to be ahead of the Lakers. The Nuggets keep winning, despite not having Jokic. They've done their thing. But the Spurs have lost a few games. The Thunder have lost a little bit. The Wolves have lost a little bit. We're just a couple of games back in the 2 seed. We're 3 games back in the 2 seed.
Yeah,
you're not going to tell me that this isn't the possibility for something spectacular because there is. There's a lot of shit that can happen here, and so I'm
we have tiebreakers with all this.
Spurs, I mean, that's the thing is that we could literally I think it's reasonable to believe that we can get into the top 4 just with everything going on. I know the Rockets have had our number, but they're faltering a little bit. They don't have a point guard, and even though Reed Shepherd is getting better, people are starting to slow down the Rockets' attack. Their offensive rebounding is insane, but you can start to gum up the works of the Rockets' offense a little bit, and I think it will still be pretty effective in the playoffs. But I just think we've got opportunities here. And again, everyone was talking about we're at the back of the West. We're in 6th place pretty firmly.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the teams ahead of us, and we've beaten multiple of them. So, I think there's a lot of good opportunities here for us.
Same here.
I'm just, so excited. So it's like we're starting on defense again. I like it. Oh. And again, this is the stuff that, Harlem Globetrotters, baby. Just back and forth, back and forth. But what's beautiful about this is Williams gets this steal, and Royce sees it immediately. Royce knocks the ball right to it. You couldn't have passed that ball. Royce is looking right. He's like, I passed that ball right to that motherfucker.
Dude, he has to force on that slam.
Yeah, and this quarterback receiver shit, and he immediately knows I gotta go. And again, it's just veteran stuff, right? And he's taking off down court, and he makes it easy for Williams to just take ahead, and then a little back and forth, topsy-turvy. No, you, no, you, no, you, no, you. Just have a little fun. And he gets away with easy stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Goodwin. Oh, my God. Look at the cutting. That dunk was grown man business, man. Rasheer Fleming. I loved watching this one live. And again, this is another one of these plays where let's watch again in whole, but this, God. Boom! Just an absolute roaster poster out of nowhere. But what you see here, what's unreal about this shit, when you break this whole thing down, is this is not one action. Right here, we just got the ball off of DHO, okay? So that was the first action, was a handoff between these two players. We just had one action, right? But then Goody comes around. What just happened? We had another screen happen over here. So we had another screen occur between these two, which causes Goodwin to pass the ball. But again, we had a secondary screen action off of that first screen action, right? Then we got the pass to the cutter. Now what's happening? We've got another cutter going to the basket. So we had a DHO into a pick and roll, into a cut to another cut. It's a 4-action play that leads to the dunk. And it's still a fucking double poster over 2 guys.
Yeah.
It's still defended well.
It is.
And he still throws it down. But that's made because everyone's fucking moving all the time. Nobody stands around. And the chemistry here is ridiculous because this looks like a team that's played together for years.
Yeah, it does.
This team was slapped together in this offseason, and they all understand that finding the open space leads to the ability for an open pass. It doesn't fucking matter who has the ball. It does not have to be Steve Nash. Just find the open space. It's like playing against zone defense in the NFL, right? Find the holes in the zone, make it easy, kick down the hole in the zone, make it easy for the quarterback to find you. You don't always have to get all the way downfield. You have to score a touchdown every play. Just get in the zone, find the hole, make it easy for the quarterback to find you. And this is the same shit. If you can cut when your defender is not looking at you, you're going to raise the percentage of scoring like by a factor of whatever. And you just like you watch the Lakers play. And again, LeBron takes his turn, Luka takes his turn, Reeves takes his turn, and there's action, but it's like you never see Luka like fly around the pick, and then hit the ball back to the man in the corner, and then he'll cut back this way to the dunker spot. Like you never see Luka do that. You see Luka dribble around, fire shot, and he makes a lot of them.
Yeah, he bullies his way in.
Yeah, he works through, and again, it works.
Yeah, Brooks does some of that sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like a whole game of watching Dylan Brooks play.
Yeah,
just with more efficiency. But it gets exhausting, and if he's having a bad game, everything falls apart. This system, like, you don't need one dude to beat everyone because everyone's playing together. It's, for lack of a better word, egalitarian or whatever. But it's just, I love watching this team play, and that dunk was, yeah, that was grown man baby. Again, DHO. And this is Booker, like, he's such an underrated passer. Like, he is just such a fucking underrated passer. It's ridiculous the way that Devin Booker gets treated because people say, like, he's not a point guard. Right here, again, this is already set up by what he's doing. Like, Devin starts down here, and he takes off sprinting, right? He comes around one pick, coming for the ball for Williams, right? And it's basically a double pick. But instead of a standard double pick, Williams has the ball, so he's coming for DHO. And so everyone on the Grizzlies is like, all right, man, Booker's coming around here. He's going to screen. He's going to go right through because he's flying right now. Or he's going to come off his pick into a shot. Like, they see Devin Booker flying like a madman, and they think, all right, this is the play for Booker. And they're not paying attention, and they're not thinking. Booker knows exactly where Dylan Brooks is. And this pass, like, again, this is from his left hand. This is over 4 Memphis defenders, essentially. Just, like, again, it's worth watching again. This is a lefty pass through the lane. And again, maybe Brooks could have cut to the basket. Aldama was doing a decent job shading there, so I think that he made the right choice staying. But he's such a good passer. That's not a pass that most people. He's going full speed off a double pick, and he whips it left-handed to Brooks between all of the traffic. Like, yeah, like nobody discusses this dude's passing. Like, when you watch this thing at full speed, like, there's still a dunk, but you watch Booker come off this, he's flying. Like, he is going, I am going to the, and just, they are all drawn to him going to the hoop, and it just leads to, it makes the rotation to cover the shot too late because by the time you're scrambling back to the corner, Brooks has already got that shot loaded up, and he's 6'8", or 6'7", or whatever. You're not gonna. It's a very hard shot to block because he's already up. Like you've got to be, you got to be, Wemby could block that shot.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the kind of thing we're talking about. So, and this one, I just love this one. Like Booker, the turn fades. He's just so good at them, and it reminds me of the one he hit. We always talk about it in the bubble when he hit the turn fade over Kawhi and Paul George.
Oh, dude.
And it was like, that was like when it was like we were like announcing ourselves to the national stage, because we were 8-0, and
yeah, that's right.
If Karis LeVert fucking hits that 22-foot jumper against the Blazers, we go to the playoffs, and
who knows what happens?
Well, yeah, because then we face off against the Lakers, and we matched up very well against them. And if we had knocked them out, dude, who the fuck knows? Like, what if we had the bubble championship right now? You know who would call that Mickey Mouse shit is Lakers fans.
They would.
Like, all it was real, it was the bubble. And their bubble championship, they're like, how dare anyone? You know they would fucking say that shit, dude. You know they would. But Booker, the turn fade, and again, look at the level of, again, flying this time. And see, this is why the thing is, it's the same kind of play. He's like sprinting around in a circle. That's why they were expecting him to shoot, because that's what he would do. That's why the pass is just so they're like, oh fuck, because this time he gets in, and this is look at the stop, like look at the he's got his pivot foot, like this is, I mean, he pivots this foot, he swings all the way back around. The whole fucking Grizzlies team is chasing him down, and he still just pivots and shoots right over them. Just, I think, well,
yeah, his reaction.
Right, he's like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do with that? And I don't know, buddy. Dude, Royce and Goodwin, the passing has just been amazing. Like both Goody and Royce, like Booker is clearly an underrated passer, but I didn't realize some of the shit that Goodwin and Royce could do. Like Goodwin's thrown a couple of slick passes, and he's not like a point guard minded dude, but like he's thrown a couple of passes where I'm like, okay, like kind of the same thing Booker did, but with the right hand, which is a little easier because he's a righty. But the point to me is just that everyone on this team does everything at like a B plus, and that's really something that you really look for, you know.
Yes.
And this, you know, this is just Goodwin, just like just again, heads up, you know. You see your man, you make a quick outlet, and that's 2 free points. Like every single basket counts. How often do we see games come down to 1 point, and it you just anytime you can get an easy basket, you should be doing it. And it's I know that seems so simplistic and reductive, but like the guys will do so much to not run.
Yeah, that came down to effort.
That's all. That's exactly it. It's like that's all effort. It's 2 fucking easy points. You just have to run a little harder.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We make those effort plays that generate easy baskets. And the thing is if you do 5 of those, you're gonna win an additional like. If you do 5 of those a game, you're gonna win an additional like 10 games off that alone. Like it's just so basic. And I think that's what kills me about the NBA is that so many dudes want to reduce it to just a 3-point shooting contest to the point they don't even want to play defense. It's just like, let's just run up and down the court and shoot threes and, you know, see whatever. And it's like, there are opportunities there to step in and play basketball like the Thunder do. And I almost think at this point, if I'm a GM, the number one thing I'm looking for is motor. Because you can figure out shooting and you can figure out, you know, touch and feel and all these things. You cannot make a dude be at the gym at 4 a.m. Some people just fucking they are just psychotic and they are broken mentally and they are living in the gym. And I want those dudes on my basketball team. I want Dylan Brooks psychotic on my team. I do. You just do. You don't want a team full of that guy.
Right. Right.
You got one of them.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. To turn the whole culture around. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, okay, first off, it doesn't lead to a bucket, but right here, this is just like grown man passing. Because again, like Oso sees the game before it's happening. There's nobody here. Mm-hmm. Nobody in this. There's no one. There's no one here. It's a big empty spot. There's nobody here. Oso sees what's coming. He sees the cutter, and I mean that's just ridiculous. Like. How does a dude who's 6'8"? I mean, that's just right by him, boom. And it doesn't lead to a bucket. But, like, there's no one there. He sees the man cutting, and he already knows the pass he's going to throw. And that's what makes it so easy to slip it by, because he's already loaded up and figured out what he's doing. He's thinking the game 2 steps ahead. Mm-hmm. You just don't see that from kids. And again, I know that doesn't lead to a basket, but that little moment is just so, you know, that's a great. I'm glad you clipped that one, even though I'm glad you clipped it out that far, because it's just like you can see the way that Iguodala thinks ahead of the next play, because that's what the greatest players do. It's not the greatest dunks and the most 3-point shots. It's 2 steps ahead. That's, you know, Steph Curry, the way that he flies around the court and cuts, he's 2, 3 steps ahead of where his defender thinks he's going to be, and you can never stop him. And Iguodala is displaying that from the five. This has been quite a whirlwind of this has been an Iguodala highlight mixtape.
Yeah.
Like if I was like Iguodala's agent, I would like clip this episode and be like, watch these guys, they break it down. He knows.
Pay him.
Yeah, it pays guys. But we just set it back into a little GA show for Gillespie. And again, the shot didn't the first shot didn't work, right? But this is obviously meant to be a a bucket for Dunn inside. It didn't work. So what does he do? He comes out and again, does he pound the rock for 20 seconds and can fire a contested jumper? No. They go right into another action because Gillespie sees him coming and fires off on a cut. Look at Gillespie's man. You can see it right here. He's not even prepared, right? He's backwards. He's going shit face and he's backwards, right? He's turned literally the wrong way because Gillespie saw Dunn coming and cut a half second ago. He's already his defender is not even looking, and Gillespie's already ready to cut. And so now you're literally going the wrong way. And now Colin has a wide open jumper. Dude isn't even 2-3 feet with him because he's literally not looking what's going on because again, Gillespie is thinking ahead of the play. If I cut really hard, Dunn sees me, I'm going to get an easy bucket. And that's, again, effort. It has nothing to do with, that's not a designed play. That's often offensive, it's not an offensive rebound, but the designed play occurred and was busted.
Yeah.
So he then dribbled out to just the closest area of the wing. That's not a secondary plan. And Gillespie just sees the opportunity. And he makes a harder cut than his defender. And it's just, again, it's basic, but right now we're kicking everyone's ass. This was a 3-1 week. We dominated 2 of those games. We pretty firmly won 1 of them. It was close down the stretch, but I mean, it wasn't like we handled it down the last 20 seconds. It wasn't like we got it done.
Yeah.
And then we lost a 3-point game on the second night of a back-to-back, the night after we beat the number 1 team in the league.
Yeah.
So what's going on right now is that we are playing harder, we are playing faster, we are playing with more effort, and it's putting us in a position to, again, play at a 55-win pace and potentially, again, I think a top 4 seed is realistic. And if you get a top 4 seed in this league, I don't give a fuck. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Because
we've seen a lot of crazy shit. And if you get home court in that first round, we just don't know. Especially with the way that the Thunder are falling apart a little bit right now. Especially with the way that the Spurs are, I want to call them inconsistent. They're young.
How we match up against them.
I think that we match up very well against both teams. And I just think there's an opportunity here for us to do something. And, you see it in every play. It's not one play. It's not 2 plays. Every single one, we out-hustle that dude, and we get the extra bucket because of it. And again, we're not winning every game. We're not winning every possession. But, it's money ball. Win enough possessions. Win enough games, then you win it all.
Yeah.
And again, Gillespie just beautiful stuff this year. Just an unbelievable shooter. And this is what I'm talking about with Goodwin and the passing right there. This pass, this is just a nice little pick and pop, a nice little pick and roll to the floater. But this pass is a nice pass. You have got to get that up just enough for your man to get it down, but it cannot be blocked and won't be out of his reach. And that's a nice little floater pass from Goody. And that's the kind of stuff that I feel like he doesn't really get credit for, is that he's actually a significantly better passer than anyone talks about. Goodwin, again, he's the game ahead of it. He's not the fastest dude. He runs his ass off. He's not the strongest dude, but he fucking shoves his elbows into you. He's not the tallest dude, but he leaps for rebounds. And it's just, we have a team full of these motherfuckers. Yeah. And it's just, again, I can sit here and wax poetic about this for hours because, we just, we watched the years of Devin Booker's early career, where the Earl Watson years. Like remember, like Earl, the one year where like we lost like 50 points, but the first 3 games we lost by 50, and Earl Watson's like showing his little playoff chart. He's like, "Don't worry, if we have family and friendship, we'll make the play." And I was just like, "I want to die." And he's like talking about how weed is the worst thing in the world. And he's just like, "You gotta go, man." Like he's like, "My dad is a cop." I'm like, "I hate everything about you." And he was a terrible head coach, and he's gone, and thank God. And remember, there was the whole Lindsey Hunter thing where Lindsey Hunter was like spying for Lance Blanks in the front office, and that's even before the Booker era. But it's just like that was what got Alvin Gentry fired. Remember, like we did a lot of dumb shit.
Man. He was a great coach. I love Gentry.
I love Gentry. We did a lot of dumb shit over the years, and the fact that our owner again spending a ton of money on a WNBA practice facility, legit. Spending money and putting the Suns back on the local airways, legit.
Yeah.
Creating the $2 menu at the games, legit. Kevin Durant trade sucks. Brad Beal trade sucks. But listen, he wasn't the lead negotiator on those deals. James Jones was. So, although he was a little gung-ho to do things, we do have to remember that someone was supposed to be there, actually negotiating the terms and not just giving away every single thing that came up.
Yeah.
And so I am going to put a little bit of that on James Jones. Now, if James says, no, we can't do that, and Ishmael was like, give everything up, then, but, who the hell knows? Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, it's still James Jones' job. He's got to take some responsibility for something. Knicks game. Let's tackle these last highlights.
I love this game. Yeah.
This is the one right here.
I may have overloaded on highlights here. I just love the game.
There's no such thing. No such thing. I could do this all day, man. Me too. Oh, yeah. An unexpected error has occurred. That's exciting. We need to respect it.
It was expected.
It was an expected error. This is an exciting time. Summary provided by someone we didn't ask for. All right. So here again, we got Brooks in the corner. Got to pass it out just to kind of reset. Williams all the way. The funny thing is, you watch this play and you're like, "Oh, is that Giannis?" that's a Giannis Euro step where you take 4 steps and you get to the basket. Oh,
yeah, dude. It's rare for him to do this, so I was like, okay, let's go.
And it was doing quite a few steps, but we'll let it go. Again, just a beautiful pass to the corner for Booker, and this is the stuff that nobody. Again, he doesn't get credit for this because I don't know why. But again, it's a simple action. This is not next level stuff. Pick and roll. Booker knows where his man is. But look at this right here. What I want to focus on is this. This is, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 New York Knicks defenders looking right at Devin Booker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all completely focused on Booker.
So the memo's not out on our team yet.
No, they're not paying attention, and they still believe that Devin Booker is the only dude. I mean, we're open right here. We got Royce O'Neal. We're open under the basket. We got all kinds of stuff going on. And again, the easy one, the Booker sees, right? Because this is a hard pass to make.
Yeah.
Williams is trailing. It's going to be hard to get that ball past Towns, and I can't see who that is. It might be Decent Brad. This is going to be a tough ball to get to, but right there. What do you know? Dillon Brooks again, right on the side, and he just waits till he cuts through just enough.
Mm-hmm.
OG Anunoby is turning. Cat is trying to prepare to defend the rim, and again, it's just easy stuff. And Anunoby actually makes a decent recovery.
Yeah, he does.
And his arms are really long, so he's the kind of dude who might theoretically be able to affect that shot, but it's too easy for Dillon. He's shooting so well this season. And again, it's just, if everyone's going to focus on Devin, and literally we've got 5 guys looking at him like that, and you can just see it right there that every single person's ball watching, and it's just going to make it easier. And Devin, again, he's just such a fucking killer, and it's just he gets no credit for the passing. It drives me nuts. But that's a beautiful one. That's another beautiful one. I love that shit. Oh God! I mean, on the cut too. And this is how do you do this? How does a big man see this? But again, where are we? What's going on here when we look at this? Again, we've got Goodwin cutting. Iguodala's right here. Again, There's nobody here. There's no one fucking here. Nothing is going on there. But Oso Iguodala can see the future. And he knows who will be there, and he knows when they will be there. And he knows who will not be there, and that is any New York Knicks defenders. And it's just, you see Goodwin running, and it's just, again, you're a half second ahead. You're like, well, because the point is that to us, you're watching this right now, you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Iguodala has already identified, right, that Goodwin is cutting to the basket. So, like, he's already sees that this is happening. So what he's doing right now, he's waiting for the line to throw the ball right between these two. He's waiting for the perfect little triangle to make X marks the spot, right? And so it's like he's just trying to wait for that perfect moment because he already knows where he's going with the ball. Because he's already made up his mind. And that's what makes it so easy to throw that fucking pass. Boom. Easy dunk. And it's just, again, when you have a dude who's playing power forward or center and he's throwing passes like that, like, that's the kind of shit Jokic does. Again, not comparing Oso Iguodala to Jokic, not comparing him to Draymond Green. I'm not saying he's those dudes, but I'm saying that he clearly watches those guys and tries to learn from them because this motherfucker can pass.
Yeah, dude.
Like, this is just, we're like George Mikan right now. I'm like a good highlight in my estimation. It's a nice bounce pass, test pass, but we're like 9 years old.
Turns out he was right. That's what
he was very right. We missed it the whole time. He was the 90-year-old was on it. Like I fucking
because I can show ISO plays all day, but is that really how that's not an offense like running?
Well, and here's the other thing: is that okay, you're gonna still be getting jumpers. Yeah. I can go to any park in the country and see a dude who's hot hitting jumpers. You'll see that anywhere. Anyone can make. You can see dudes dunk all over the place. Find me courts where dudes are throwing crappy ass passes and backdoor cuts. That's what I'm talking about. And this is very old. This is very grandfather. You can see the gray in the beard, but I'm okay with it because that's a nice fucking pass. And it's just, hey, whether it's Tom Brady or Oso Iguodala, I love a good pass. Yes. It is what it is. So,
it's completion satisfaction.
There you go. I like it. Let's see. We got. Oh God, man, this unbelievable stuff. It's just again another fucking pass that Iguodala just. It's just beautiful. Like you see this coming all the way, and yet if you're the defender, you never see it coming. And again, what happens here that's so cool again is that right here, this is just like a high pick and roll. This is basic stuff. He just clears out, right? The screen, we never even really set the pick because they go over to cover and double.
Yeah, they're doubling good.
Yeah, they're doubling goody. And so they just let Iguodala go. And so right here, he looks. And you got two options. Again, he could just pull up and fire the triple, right? Yeah. He's wide open. No one would be mad at him. He's a shooter. He's got the green light. He can pull up and shoot this. I mean, again, look, there's nobody here. His defender is right here. So, he has no one in his way. He can just pull this motherfucking thing. He can pull up from the top of the key. He can pull from the free throw line. He's got multiple opportunities if he just wants to shoot this thing. No. I'm going to the rim because that's the highest quality play in almost any situation. And he just crashes and he goes right to it. And now right here, again, what have we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 New York Knicks watching Oso Iguodala. Now in this case, he's crashing to the hoop. He's very close. It's understandable that every single person is ball watching except right here, right? You got to know where your man is because yet again, what are we doing? We're cutting to the hoop. And it's just yet another example of we're in the corner, we're coming right here, and now nobody's there. Every single Knicks defender is completely out of the way because Oso Iguodala crashed in the basket, pulled the entire Knicks defense with him, and then here comes the cutter. And it's just, again, you just work together, and that's an easy fucking dunk. It just, again, we could stand in the corner and let Oso do all the work and let him throw up or whatever, or I can see him crashing and I can crash with him. And these things, again, it takes time to build this chemistry.
Yeah,
we
more
weren't,
chemistry.
yeah, we weren't doing this in the first 10 games. This is the stuff essentially that I'm talking about that wasn't going on in that 1-5 start. When I'm saying that those first 6 games, you could just throw that shit out. And listen, throw out the other team's first 6 games too, whatever. The point I'm making is this team right now they're hive minded. They're on another level together. And you see this shit and that, yeah. I mean, again, like you said, beautiful pass,
Beautiful mind.
beautiful mind. Oh God. I mean, I just like how
No, it was a good.
like how does Devin even throw this pass? Like you watch this and you see it, and again, 4 guys watching Devin Booker. How? How does how? In what world does this ball get from here to here? And like perfectly, by the way.
Yeah.
He is smothered. How? How do you get this ball out? It's again, he's just the one-handed over. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous what this guy can do. No credit, but nobody even talks about him as a passer. It always makes me so mad. He's so good. And Brooks, even still, I mean, wow, he actually got defended by Cat and he still scored.
Threw it over him, yeah.
Yeah,
that arc and that.
He got up on that floater. It was nice. But I mean, all because Booker was able to get him into a nice ISO against the mismatch because he threw the most ridiculous pass in the world. The Knicks actually defended that really well.
Yeah.
They were all over Booker, forced a really hard pass, and then forced a really tough floater from Brooks. We executed. And again, the Knicks defended the hell out of that one, and we still did it because Booker took the most ridiculous pass in the world, and Brooks does an unbelievable floater. Like, those are the kind of things when you're watching as a Knicks fan that just make you want to punch the wall.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, like, whatever. And it's like the first half, you're so mad. Like, those are the ones that just, you're like, okay, whatever. Oh, God, dude. The one thing I love about Williams is he's fucking huge.
Yeah. Dude.
And just the way he can literally, from the circle, throw this ball down like it's nothing. I think it was Reddick who said he has the second longest standing reach in the NBA.
No?
Which I'm assuming number one would be Wemby. So, like,
yeah,
I mean, like, Williams is huge. And again, it's just like, dude, he's from the fucking circle. He throws that ball down like it's nothing. And again, this just call off the pick and roll action, so we run a side pick and roll action, which just leads to an easy bucket. Like, we wave off the top pick and roll, run a side pick and roll, and then you just throw it down for the dunk. Like, I'll be honest, so many teams falter because they run one action and then devolve into ISO ball. And if you just run 2-3 actions, it's just points. That's what the Warriors did. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that so much of our pick and roll offense is out of DHO instead of just all high pick and roll.
Yeah.
We do a lot of crafty ways to run pick and roll, which, again, not the Chris Paul crafty, but just like handoff crafty, and it just takes the offense to a new level. I fucking love watching this shit. I really do. And just that dunk, I mean, dunks is that. I like dunks more than three. They just keep you hyped,
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, God. I mean, Booker just can score from everywhere. He's a pure 3-level scorer. He's the best 2 guards in the NBA. When he threw down that poster the other day, I was like, oh my God. This looks just, I love him so much. Right here.
Boom! That's the one I
right
want to say.
You want to say anything. I mean, it's just like, again, you're just watching greatness. Like, this is just Devin Booker being great. That's nothing else. There's nothing else to highlight here. This is just Devin Booker being fucking great. It's defended well. He just wanted it more.
Yeah.
That's all that was. That is Devin Booker wanted it more. There's nothing else there. And that is the fun thing about basketball, is that one guy can decide we're not losing today. Mm-hmm. That doesn't exist anywhere else. You can't say, I'm hitting 10 home runs today, or I'm going to throw 5 touchdowns today. Like, you need the offensive line. You need the receiver. In basketball, one man can decide we're not fucking losing this game.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It is the only sport that has that.
Yeah.
You can't do it in soccer. I mean, okay, in solo sports, I suppose. But even then, like, you're at the mercy of so many, golf, you're at the mercy of the wind and hazards and the way a ball bounces off, whatever. And, in this game, you're at the mercy of refs and rebounds too. But when you just fucking want it more, and you're one of the greats, you have to be truly elite and all these things. But we've seen when guys just they will not lose, they just refuse. And there is a certain level of like connectivity to the sport and a certain level of like when you're just on, you're on. And some guys can just reach deeper and say, I'm not losing this game. It's the Michael Jordan thing.
Yeah.
Like Michael could just win games. LeBron could just win games. Kobe could just win games. Tim Duncan could just win games. They just find ways. They just reach deeper. And Devin Booker has that. And when the Suns have put a quality team around him, he's taken us to the finals. We've gone far. We've just got to put confident players around him.
And we got that.
And we got that now. And you see when he wants it more, nobody will stop it. I still think at the time, dude, this was like when he was a kid and he threw down a left-handed poster on New Orleans Anthony Davis. I'm talking about prime Anthony Davis. And it was left fucking handed. And he absolutely monster dunked on him. I was like, this motherfucker, this is the one. That's when I was like, all right. This guy, I didn't know he had that in him.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then he breaks it out. And he's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't done like this in a minute.
I appreciate that he doesn't do it too much because you don't want to endanger himself.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to do it. Oh, God. Unlimited range. This is the thing. You have Curry range on top of just dunking all over anybody. Like, this too easy. No problem. From the logo. Boom. And he hasn't even been shooting well from three this year. Mm-hmm. So you know the heat's coming.
Yeah.
Like, this is another great Williams one. Like, just the block right into Grayson. Like, it's just, Williams, like, when he plays teams like this, like the Knicks, that play Cat and Mitchell Robinson, like a lot of traditional big men, Williams is so goddamn effective. He struggles against some of the small ball teams just because it's harder for him to do, like, rotations on the perimeter. But Jordan Ott made a good point. He's like, I feel like we forget that Mark Williams is also 23.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about Oso Ighodaro and Ryan Dunn, but Mark Williams is also 23. So it's like you're talking about these dudes, they're like the young players, and you're talking about Williams like he's an established dude. It's like just because he was, he's been injured a lot, all these things, like he's got a lot of room to grow too.
Yeah.
And he still needs to work on his, perimeter defense, which is, all big men do. And so games like this, like seeing him be able to sort of neutralize Mitchell Robinson is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Because that's been a problem for us, throughout the years. And again, just two people, whatever, doesn't matter. Nobody on planet Earth can guard Devin Booker, and that's what he wants us to know at all times.
Yeah. Great game.
Amazing game.
Yeah.
One of the most fun games of the year. I love when we play the Knicks. It's always a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they get up to play us, we get to play them. Booker is great when we play in Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. So I think he's a lot of NBA players are, when they play the Garden are great. Booker's one of those dudes. I think he gets the Knicks up for us. Plus, I think there's there's the Cam Johnson game a few years ago. Remember when Cam hit the three at the buzzer?
Oh, yeah.
And we won and we've kind of had some shit with the Knicks the last few years. Jalen Brunson burned us a couple years ago. He hit scored 60. We've had some really great games back and forth with the Knicks. So it's I kind of circle that one on the calendar because it's that's going to be a fun game.
Absolutely.
And this one was no different. So,
and we play them again soon.
We do. Because we're on our East Coast swing right now. We got the Heat. Then I think we got the Pistons.
Yeah.
And then I think
the Knicks. Yeah.
And then, So that's right. So we got 3 games this week, all East Coast swing. This is one of those things. It's if we could come out of this with some wins and fatten up against the East Conference, and it's tough because it's on the road, but if we can not falter here, this could be really huge for us because we're about to come into a spot where we're playing a bunch of these teams that are ahead of us again. Mm-hmm. And it's we're going to have an opportunity to do something. And it would be really good if we were in position to potentially overtake one or two of them instead of having fallen behind because we lost the road game. So this is gonna be, we got 3 games this week. As always, let's go 3-0.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be a good test. It'll be a good test for our chemistry too. Hopefully it just keeps on building that chemistry that we have right now. It's going to be these 3 games, and then we're still on the road for another 3. So it's going to be a long trip where it's just them together, and I think it's going to be great for us.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like it builds team camaraderie.
Yeah.
And if the thing is if we can find ways to win on the road and like really keep gaining as things are going, like people are going to start to take us seriously, and I think they're going to start to take themselves seriously in a way that, like, I want us to have that confidence. I don't want them to be cocky, but I want them to be confident.
Right.
And I think you can see that like growing that each week.
Yeah, I agree. And I think our coach isn't going to let them get complacent.
Yeah.
He's not going to let them take games off. Even like this Wizards game is a good example of that. We could have, they don't have anyone anymore. So.
And the thing is that he has shown that if you're not going to play hard, he'll put someone else in.
Yeah.
And someone will get your minutes if you're not playing hard. So everyone's giving it every night, and we're just in a different place. And I'm excited to talk about them again next week.
Yes. And
and
maybe there'll be another surprise next week that you'll mention. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a new thing. Everyone, hey, we got hopefully appropriately leveled audio. We got drawing. We got everything going on. So. Man, it's exciting to be Sunday Night Suns. My man Keith, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you again for another great set of highlights. That was a great package.
Yeah.
The Oso Iguodala package.
Thanks for your good commentary. I was curious what you thought. Yeah, the Oso
The Oso package. It was a good one.
Yeah,
dude, I love doing the highlights. We'll do it again next week.
Yeah. All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, every time. For my man Keith Strader, I'm the Blunt Doctor. This is Sunday Night Suns.